That was a lie.
Lowered expectations.
What in the all types of blue hell? Get yourself ready for a minstrel show.
My name Lil Dad. My name Lil Dad, huh? Leave Kamala alone. Leave Kamala alone, huh? They're coming to get us. They're trying to get us back, huh? My name Lil Dad. My name Lil Dad, huh? Leave Kamala alone, huh? My name Lil Dad. It's the butt hurt. It's the butt hurt. It's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, 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 it's the butt hurt blues.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to Colosseum Daily. Today, we're going to be talking about the Obamas actually mentioned the Manosphere. I'm shocked. Oh, but this space has no effect, right? We have no effect on society whatsoever, right? We're just a bunch of incels living in our mama's basement, right? No. Nope. So, about the Obamas, actually, I say the Obamas because, believe it or not, Barack Obama pulled up to Michelle Obama's podcast. And they talked about their alleged marital issues, believe it or not. What's going on, Silk Diggy? So, also, Joy Reid got roasted today by Piers Morgan. Oh. And knowing her, she's already blaming it on racism, and of course, as always,
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right, we're gonna get started. Put me down here. And let's get started. All right, here we go.
Oh, by the way, I got this driver. We got to pay and get back in time and make my flight. And when Michelle hears this story, right? She's horrified. And I'm sure Kelly, if she heard this, and in the sense that when we were coming up, the idea of kids just being out.
Alternative.
Correct.
But the story you tell is the story of probably most kids.
now.
Towards her. And in that sense, I think element of being a man for me was important. And I'm sure Kelly, can you give me a ride to where my mom's office is? And I don't have any money, but I know if I get there, hopefully I catch her, get there. She's just about pulling out. I tell her, hey, Mom, you forgot the passport. Oh, by the way, I got this driver. We got to pay. And get back in time and make my flight.
Mm-hmm.
And when Michelle hears this story, right, she's horrified. And I'm sure Kelly, if she heard this story, would be horrified as well. I have to say that for me, it was like, I can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember feeling scared or worried or neglected. I just remember thinking, okay, how do I figure this out?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good about the fact that I'd figured it out. And I do think that element of being a man for me was important. Now, keep in mind, my mother was 18 when she had me, right? So around this time, she's not much older than Malia.
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense, I think I felt more protected towards her and didn't feel as if somehow I needed to that I needed to or should depend on her in order to make sure that I'm handling my business. And
there's a spectrum of parenting. I mean, they label it now. You know, there's the helicopter, and then there's the jungle parent or the freewheeling. They call it something. Free range parenting.
Yeah, free range.
Right.
Yeah, my mother was definitely in the free range category. Love me to death.
But there are, the story you tell is the story of probably most kids.
A lot of kids.
Across the country. Yeah. If, you're a single parent, you don't have somebody at home, a lot of kids are, they got to get up, make their own breakfast, find their way. They're doing that every day because there isn't an alternative.
Correct. And figuring out what that balance is.
That's exactly the point. What is the balance?
Is tough.
Which is very different from how we parented our kids, how Kelly is, and you and Kelly are parenting your younger sons now.
But part of it, don't you think part of it was also time specific in the sense that when we were coming up, the idea of kids just being out and having adventures and just getting home in time for dinners, especially during the summers, right? Part of what happened, and I maybe affected boys a little more than girls, I don't know.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with Obama on this one. I don't understand the concept of these teenagers being out past 10 o'clock at night. That was just never going to happen in my father's house. It was never going to happen in my father's house. I don't understand that concept of kids being out that late at night. Salute Kevin. But yeah, anyway, let's continue.
Is that freedom, that sense of being able to build up resilience and a sense of competence and a sense of I can manage the world around me because the stakes weren't so high. When I think about kids now on the South Side, same neighborhoods where you guys grew up, but the chances of possibly getting shot or the chances of, some other terrible thing happening are higher. And I think that affected everybody's parenting and it affected how we handle kids, right? So that now suddenly, instead of just saying, all right, get out of here and come back for dinner time, now it's a play date. And where are you? And do we know the parents where you're playing? And so on and so forth.
We see a good example in it in one of my favorite shows on Netflix that has become the topic of conversation amongst a lot of people, particularly in Black homes, is this series Forever, which is a beautiful story of young love in a Black neighborhood, and it is not traumatic, and bad things don't happen.
It's just regular kids.
It's just regular kids.
Right.
That reflects all of our lives in real ways. And I know you watched some of that, and Barack, you are well aware of it. But the show has created a lot of conversation in terms of how do you raise emotionally intelligent boys and what we get right and what we get wrong. Not just among boys, but kids in general.
We
emotionally intelligent boys, translation, boys that suck up to girls.
Watched it as a family. We watched the whole series as a family and enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun to hear the boys talk about, oh, you guys would have done that, or you guys wouldn't have done that. That was eye-opening as a parent. You know, because
they're evaluating it.
They're evaluating our parenting, or they're evaluating their parenting based on their own.
That's a crazy thing Dad would do.
But this brings me back to Emma. Emma's trying to raise these boys, and so she's trying to be somewhere between Forever. And then the other show that people are talking about, Adolescence, which I haven't watched yet, which it gets into sort of the misogyny that young boys are exposed to,
and the online,
the Manosphere.
They're getting their parenting.
They're getting their
online.
Parenting
they're getting their notions of manhood from extreme.
Yeah, we teach boys how to deal with rejection over here. Now, if you ever watched the Adolescence series, it's about a kid that unalives a girl because she rejected him, allegedly. And we've always been of the type of we've always been of the kind of over here we tell dudes rejection is a part of life. A girl does not have to be with you. We're not important, right? But the Manosphere is not important according to some Butthurt Blues, right? So let's play this again. For the Butthurt Blues.
Which it gets into sort of the misogyny that young boys are exposed to,
and the online,
the Manosphere.
They're getting their parenting.
They're getting their
online.
Parenting
they're getting their notions of manhood from extreme.
Extremists. Extremists.
But if you listen to Butthurt Blues like Man of Tomorrow and Mike V and the Butthurt Brain Trust, the Manosphere has no effect, right? Right. Anyway.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because let's go back to the original question. All right. Emma's trying to figure out how to raise boys. I think we did a pretty good job of raising our girls. But I've said often that I think I would have had more difficulty raising a son.
I agree.
Because I think I might have been more judgmental, harder, and I would have tried to. I'd like to think I would have been more self-aware enough to combat that. But I just think father-son relationships, for me particularly, if I don't have a dad around to show it to me, might have been more difficult. So talk about, Craig, just how you thought about it. Was it just what your dad had done and you said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try the same thing. Did it change over time?
It was a little bit of everything, but with both what you're both saying. Initially, I thought, okay, I'm going to take what I learned from Dad, all the things that I thought were positive, and then the couple of things that I thought were negative, I was going to try and repurpose.
Right.
What were some of the positives?
Well, it's just kind of the stuff that I named before. The willingness to get up and go to work every day, taking me with him to see what it was like to have male relationships, either at work, at the barbershop. He didn't go to the gym, but in places where men hung out.
Right.
The record store, we would go to the record store every now and then, and he'd have a bunch of friends there. That sounds like an old
the record
idea,
store.
going to the record store.
Oh, it's come back.
It's come back.
Oh, has it? Okay, good.
It's retro.
But those were some of the positive things. How to walk.
Well, I don't go to the record store now, but whatever.
With Mom when you're walking down the street. Always walk on the street side.
On the street
and
side.
holding the door and opening the door for her, allowing her to go in. It was just things like that. Right. And then I'd have to really work at thinking of something negative that Dad did.
Yeah, and I still believe in that to a degree, but problem is some of these chicks nowadays believe in what's that famous word they like to use? Equality.
There are women who get really offended if you do open the door for them.
Yeah, I'm independent. I don't need no man's.
All right, sure stuff. Go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about? Let me ask this though. I mean, Dad also came home, put his feet up. He didn't always cook, or he didn't do dishes. He didn't do.
But you have to remember that I was thinking.
So what?
Thinking at the time that was okay because he was at work all day and he needed to rest, and Mom was always.
Yes.
It's called division of labor.
Yes.
And couples have to work that out, because remember, traditionally, you were talking about families that lived on a single income.
Exactly.
Dad brought home the Dad brought home the bacon. Mama had to cook it.
That's right.
Is cooking.
Shit.
So, but that's a good one. That's a good. That's a good potential.
Marriage has always been a give and take.
It's and that's the problem. It's but most women, when they hear that give and take, they say, "Oh yeah, so he's supposed to give and I take, not the other way around." Bullshit. Both sides have to give and take. It's called a compromise. It's called working things out, negotiation.
Yes.
Roles.
But unfortunately, that's become a dirty word. Sorry.
And I thought, okay, I'm gonna do ways cooking. So, but that's a good one. That's a good. That's a good potential negative.
Gender roles, very clear.
Very clear gender roles.
Very clear.
And I thought, okay, I'm gonna do the positive things, and then.
Well, here's the thing. In my household, my mother, God rest her soul, unfortunately, this is the day I took her off life support. In my household,
oh man,
yeah,
condolences.
In my household, my mother didn't cook. My father was the one that cooked.
Was she a bad cook?
Yeah, kind of. She could cook. In her defense, though, she cook better most of these heifers can now. She could boil water. Half these heifers can boil water.
Yeah, but back it. Hey.
Do I really want to know who you just applied that line to?
My late mother, unfortunately, this is the day I you saw my Facebook post.
My condolences on that. I mean, me personally, it's just this week. I'm also it's going to be 2 years since my dad's passing this week, so I'm kind of like bugged out about it. Oh, by the way, as far as the Manosphere is concerned, yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday, was the 1 year anniversary of Spetsnaz passing away. R.I.P. to that brother. One of the best MGTOWs who had one of the most insightful videos collections ever.
But we're doing this stream because the Obamas are talking about, how the Manosphere. Yes, they mentioned the actual. Yes, they mentioned the Manosphere.
I was just going to ask, who is this piece of lowered expectations I'm seeing on my screen here?
That's Kelly Robinson.
That's her brother. That's Michelle Obama's brother.
I'm sorry?
That's Michelle Obama. And, don't worry, I'll do it for you. I can find it. Here it is.
Is it me?
Lowered expectations.
Okay, since I'm from Chicago, I'll go ahead and use a team mascot I rarely talk about. What in the name of the DePaul Blue Demons is this motherfucker?
That is Michelle Obama's brother.
I'm just going to say it like this. He looks like...
Name her just a moment.
All right, go ahead.
I believe this sound applies. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at him.
Expose Avery, who's my oldest, to less of the negative things.
Mm-hmm.
And
he
you have
has
to remember,
sons.
Avery's 33. So he didn't have to work. We didn't.
Yeah, barely has grown sons.
Have to worry about social media.
Mhm.
There was very little internet stuff.
Mhm.
You know, we really focused on how to behave out in public as a guy, or I should say,
We teach that too.
how to get along, how to treat girls, how to have conversations. But with Austin and Aaron, it's more of how do you deal with social media, and which was in Forever the whole premise of the show. What are you supposed to say when you do
Is this
that?
a spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Was a video that got leaked. So we're constantly talking to them about that. And now I have even more things to draw from because I raised Avery, and there were some things that I was like, I wish I hadn't done that.
I could have done that better.
I could have done that better. Whether it was sort of teaching them how to drink. I mean, if you don't know how to, you could end up in a bad situation. You know, more direct conversations about the first time you were with a woman intimately.
You mean sex, Craig?
I do mean sex. And it's funny how I was tiptoeing around.
Craig got a little
I was
freeze it.
tiptoeing around it because
Freeze it, please.
Morning.
I have one question and one question only.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have
And
one
boring, but anyway.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
I have one question and one question only.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with this picture?
Well, I'm looking at Craig A. Robinson's bio. Apparently, this guy played basketball as a forward for Princeton between 79 and 83.
Okay.
Secondly, he's 63 years old right now. And
Rewards in the chat.
Yeah. Hey, Horowitz, Feinberg, and Horowitz. That's a law firm that represents the Manosphere, by the way. You know, they do a lot of great work for us. Great litigators, and they're excellent with lawsuits and countersuits. Anyway, I'm sorry. I look at Craig Robinson and I just see a bad combination of Reginald VelJohnson and Bill Duke. That's all I see.
I see a bad combination, and you can fill in the blanks.
Let me talk to Horowitz for a minute. Yeah, doing this stream because Barack Obama, Michelle Obama actually mentioned the Manosphere. Actually, yes, they actually mentioned the Manosphere. And you know how it's detrimental to the society. In fact, I'll rewind a little bit so you can hear the part where they talk about the Manosphere.
I need to hear this.
Let's see.
In the meantime,
Just find their way. They're doing that every day because there isn't an alternative.
Correct. And figuring out what that balance is.
That's exactly the point. What is the balance?
It's tough.
Which is very different from how we parented our kids, how Kelly is, and you and Kelly are parenting your younger sons now.
But part of it, don't you think part of it was also time specific in the sense that when we were coming up, you know, the idea of kids just being out and having adventures and just getting home in time for dinners, you know, especially during the summers, right? Part of what happened, and I maybe affected boys a little more than girls, I don't know, is that freedom, that sense of being able to build up resilience and a sense of competence and a sense of I can manage the world around me because the stakes weren't so high. When I think about kids now on the South Side, same neighborhoods where you guys grew up, but the chances of possibly getting shot or
well, that's what happens when your community is raised by when you have a community of people raised by single mothers. Oops, did I say that out loud?
And a lot of
not loud enough. Not loud enough.
Well, that's what happens when you have a community raised by single mothers. Oops, did I say that out loud? Let me say it again. That's
say it
what
for
happens when you have a community raised by single mothers. You have to worry about getting shot at more.
I will couple that for you, my friend. Being a fellow Southsider myself, especially growing up in the 80s, the single mom epidemic was off the fucking charts.
And the violence
was real.
And the gang violence was way real. I remember Chris Bass talked about how, he almost he was forcibly jumped in and jumped out of a gang.
Yep.
The chances of, some other terrible thing happening are higher. And I think that affected everybody's parenting, and it affected how we handle kids, right? So that now suddenly, instead of just saying, all right, get out of here and come back for dinner time, now it's a play date. And where are you? And do we know the parents where you're playing? And so on and so forth.
We see a good example in it in one of my favorite shows on Netflix that has become the topic of conversation amongst a lot of people, particularly in Black homes, is this series Forever, which is a beautiful story of young love in a Black neighborhood. And it is not traumatic, and bad things don't happen.
It's just regular kids.
It's just regular kids, right, that reflects all of our lives in real ways. And I know you watched some of that, and Barack, you are well aware of it. But the show has created a lot of conversation in terms of how do you raise emotionally intelligent boys, and what we get right and what we get wrong. Not just among boys, but kids in general.
We watched it as a family. We watched the whole series as a family and enjoyed it a lot.
Bullshit.
Yeah, can you read that for me, Snowman, please?
Oh, hell. $10 super chat from the Horowitz law offices. Oh, hell. Barry is at the same angle that Will was leaning when Jada told him about her entanglement.
Yeah.
I do
only thing left is him crying. Only thing left is him crying, his eyes red.
That too. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
Can you give
the law offices? Go ahead.
Give him one of those for me for the last 2 nights? He's hopped on my stream and has dropped a super chat for me also.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
Horowitz.
Law offices of Horowitz, Feinberg, and Horowitz.
It was really fun to hear the boys talk about, oh, you guys would have done that, or you guys wouldn't have done that. That was eye-opening as a parent.
Yeah.
Because they're evaluating it.
They're evaluating our parenting, or they're evaluating their parenting based on their own.
That's the crazy thing Dad would do.
Yeah. But this brings me back to Emma. Emma's trying to raise these boys, and so she's trying to be somewhere between Forever and then the other show that people are talking about, Adolescence, which I haven't watched yet, which it gets into sort of the misogyny that young boys are exposed to,
and the online,
the Manosphere.
They're getting their parenting.
They're getting their
online.
parenting.
Oh, but we have no effect, right?
Here's the thing I got to say about that. What are they also leaving out? In the show Adolescence, she didn't just reject him. She publicly humiliated him. And everybody, right there on the school ground. On the school ground, she publicly humiliated him. Everybody had their phones out and they were streaming it and posting on this.
Wow.
So there's a humiliation ritual. Secondly, for the past 20 years because Facebook has been around for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
With social media being the way it is in the past 15, 20 years, you also have to worry about online harassment, cyberbullying, shit posting, people putting out misinformation, spreading this misinformation, and also trolling behaviors. We've had people who've had wrongfully or right or wrong. You've also had people inciting people to be trolled and harassed constantly. Doxing as well has also been a problem. So these are things that these are things that people forget that need to be discussed, especially how many people have been driven to self-deletion because of this stuff.
Very true. By the way, I got 12 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App. Support the show. Hit the Super Chat. Support the show. Cash App come directly to me. I get that money right away. Hit the Cash App. Support the show. Let's continue.
They're getting their notions of manhood from extremists.
Yeah, extremists.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because let's go back to the original question. All right. Emma's trying to figure out how to raise boys. I think we did a pretty good job of raising our girls. But I've said often that I think I would have had more difficulty raising a son.
I agree.
because I think I might have been
and the reason it's
more
across from you.
judgmental, harder, and
let me say it again louder. Yeah, you would have had a hell of a time raising boys because the reason it's sitting across from you.
Yeah.
Not just that. Not just that.
The lie.
Not just that, Snowman, but also we're talking about a black son. Emphasis on black son. Because I remember, I'll give you an example. When Trayvon Martin was killed and he had that, and he was like, he had that press conference and with that bullshit tear in his eye. Excuse my French.
No, hey, no excuse needed. Say it loud and say it proud, man.
Like I said, when Trayvon Martin was killed in Sanford, Florida, and he gave, was it that or Sandy Hook where he gave out that press conference? He started shedding a tear in his eye, which was bullshit.
Yeah.
But we talked about Trayvon being about what it's like to be as a young black man being profiled constantly. No matter if you're a straight A student, whether if you're from the suburb or from the hood, whether you're upper class or working class, you're always seen as one thing: a threat.
Yes.
How much you get profiled.
Yep.
I would have tried to. I like to think I would have been more self-aware enough to combat that. But I just think father-son relationship.
I'll repeat my sentence. He'd have had a hell of a time raising a son or sons, and I will repeat the other half of my sentence. The reason is sitting across from you.
Well,
relationships for me, particularly if I don't have a dad around to show it to me, might have been more difficult. So talk about, Craig, just how you thought about it. Was it just you took what your dad had done and you said,
on this
I'm going to do this. I'm going to try the same thing. Did it change over time?
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's thinking right now and how this relationship has disintegrated. And I'd like to think, and maybe I'm the only one that thinks this way, that it's been disintegrated since like 2008 when he became the president of the United States. But what's he doing in front of a microphone in front of her anyway?
Hey, why can't we go further back to like say 2004 when he became senator?
The more he rose,
it was a little bit of everything with what you're both saying. Initially, I thought, okay, I'm going to take what I learned from dad, all the things that I thought were positive, and then the couple of things that I thought were negative, I was going to try and repurpose.
Right.
What were some of the positives?
Well, it's just kind of the stuff that I named before. The willingness to get up and go to work every day, taking me with him to see what it was like to have male relationships, either at work, at the barbershop. He didn't go to the gym, but in places where men hung out.
Right.
The record store, we would go to the record store every now and then, and he'd have a bunch of friends there. That sounds like an old the record idea store. Going to the record store.
It's come back.
It's come back.
Oh, has it? Okay, good.
It's retro.
Pause for a minute. Please pause. I understand.
I went to my grandfather's house. And you know what? My dad took me to see where men hung out and men got together and had fun.
Where?
I'll give you two little words. Comiskey Park.
Yep,
go South, go White Sox.
That's where I started to learn about men behavior and men hanging out together and having fun.
Yep, car shops.
That took me.
In my case, it was a pool hall because it was a pool halls because they had arcades there as well.
Yeah.
But also coffee shops were, because in my case, whenever my father would take us to go to coffee shops, just like if any other men brought their kids, especially their sons, the first thing we were supposed to do, especially in my culture, was to introduce ourselves to all the men, greet them accordingly. And they were like, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's such and such. I'm such and such a son." They said, "Hey." In my case, they would say like,
"Dad invented that." Me and Dad invented that culture because even through the 80s, we weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah. In my case, it was customary.
How to walk.
But pause for a minute. You need to pause for a minute, please. I'm sorry, AB, to interrupt. But I was going through. Quickly. I was going through Craig Robinson's bio. Apparently, this man has been a college head coach. he's been coaching for several schools. Assistant at Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago Lab. He was head coach there. Northwestern assistant. He was a head coach at Brown, as well as Oregon State. Then in the NBA, he was a VP for player organization development for the Bucks, and then later for the Knicks. Okay. So this man has had influence on young men, you can say, but I don't know if it's the right influence.
Always walk on the street side.
You know what? That makes sense. That makes sense why some of the NBA players are simps. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Say it louder.
Not loud enough.
That actually makes sense because that's why some of your NBA players are simps.
Back that up.
Opening the door for her.
I'll say it for you, and I'll add a couple of words. That's why a lot of NBA players today are simps. Can I get the alert, please?
Oh, wait a minute. Simp alert. Simp. 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 And y'all
I take full responsibility and blame me on this one.
Brace yourself, you're about to hear some.
I'm independent.
Her to go in.
Out of my head.
Just things like that. And then I'd have to really work at thinking of something negative that Dad did. But
well, what about? Let me ask this though. I mean,
here it comes.
Dad also came home, put his feet up. He didn't always cook. He didn't do dishes.
He worked all day. What do you expect?
What did I say earlier? What did I say? I said Daddy would go to work and bring home the bacon. Mama had to cook the bacon.
Mm-hmm. I'm independent. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
And
AB,
but you have to remember.
AB, I need to ask you something.
I was thinking at the time.
Quickly.
AB, you got to do a clip where he said you have to have somebody look at me and say, "This is all Nama's fault, right?"
No.
You know that.
That was okay because he was at work all day and he needed to rest, and Mom was always cooking. So, but that's a good one. That's a good potential negative.
Gender roles, very clear.
Very clear gender roles.
Very clear.
And I thought, okay, I'm gonna do the positive things and then sort of expose Avery, who's my oldest.
Yeah, I can't help myself. So I made that myself.
Do it again.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Do it again.
Let me get to it. Let's see. Yes. Simp alert. Simp. 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 I actually stole that out for TikTok because I saw a dude did it and I was cracking up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? I just need to make my own version of that. Let's look Dr. T.S.R. Johnson in the building. Let's continue.
What's up, Dr. T?
So less of the negative things. Mm-hmm. And you have to remember, Avery's 33. So he didn't have to worry. We didn't have to worry about social media. Mm-hmm. There was very little internet stuff. Mm-hmm. We really focused on.
But yeah, one of the reasons I'm going over this, Dr. T, is believe it or not, they mentioned the Manosphere in this clip. Of course, they talk about how it's harmful, how they're being misandrous and all that. But they actually mentioned the Manosphere in this little interview they did with each other.
On how to behave out in public as a guy, or I should say, how to get along, how to treat girls, how to have conversations. But with Austin and Aaron, it's more of how do you deal with social media. Yeah. And which was in Forever, the whole premise of the show. What are you supposed to say when you do that?
A spoiler alert?
Was a video that got leaked. So we're constantly talking to them about that. And now I have even more things to draw from because I raised Avery, and there were some things that I was like, I wish I hadn't done that.
I could have done that better.
I could have done that better. Whether it was sort of teaching them how to drink. I mean, if you don't know how to, you could end up in a bad situation. more direct conversations about the first time you are with a woman intimately.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean sex, Craig?
I do mean sex.
Boring.
Yeah. Thanks for the cue.
Okay.
And let's pause 30 seconds before this perfunctory continues.
Boom, boom. Woosah.
Yeah.
Woosah.
We needed those 30 seconds.
So we have the
Yeah.
former president of the United States talking about the Manosphere.
And getting daggers thrown at him in the process at 100 miles an hour.
Now, if Dr. T's still here, this next clip I'm about to show, he might find interesting. Shout out to my man Louis. He stays on Clubhouse, and he managed to capture a session of some lefties talking about your fellow PhD, Dr. Tommy Curry. So,
oh no!
Let's take a look. Let's listen in.
Oh no!
Wrong clip.
Yeah, I know.
Give it a minute.
Characteristic in Toni Morrison.
I would ignore. I mean, it actually is promoting him. I mean, if a serious, so someone's going to read that book. This person, she says, teaches at, I think it's Berkeley. She's a serious scholar. It's her first book. It's her tenure book.
It's going to have to be contended with. Okay, glad I'm not. I am a Black feminist, but only in my personal life. No.
So I think the more one engages with him, the more visibility he gets. I actually think it's it actually is promoting him. I mean, if a serious, so someone's going to read that book. This person, she says, teaches at, she's a serious scholar. It's her first book. It's her tenure book. It's in the middle of the book. And I'm assuming there are several pages on it. It's introducing people to a person that they never would have otherwise heard of. And I think that actually has the opposite effect of what the anti-Tommy Curry project is. I think people online and on social media and in public events can do it. But I just feel like it gives him an aura of legitimacy and a kind of scholarly brandishing that is incredibly, he would not have gotten otherwise. Someone at UC Berkeley who's writing a serious book on sexuality, mystery of slavery, quote unquote Black studies. I don't know what these people call it now. That was stunning to me. And maybe it's generational, but I can't imagine 20 years ago someone, unless writing.
By the way, I do have I have the audio and the Kindle version of Dr. Tommy Curry's book, The Man Not.
Nice.
Very powerful book. And I recommend all Black men read that book.
Seriously about, I can't think of who a version of Tommy J. Curry was. So I feel like he was banished, is that the word, exiled in Scotland. I think his antagonists are going to allow him to come back. I don't think it's going to be the fans. I mean, these people online, I don't know. I always think that it's best to just, this is not Streisand effect, but I feel like it's a version of that. I don't know.
Yes, they ran Dr. Curry out of the country because he advocated for Black men. Which is
sorry.
Yes,
I'm just getting. I remember I'm only a few years into this, and there's a lot of background that I don't know, so that's why I ask a lot of questions. But repeat that.
They ran Dr. Curry out of the country because he was a big advocate for Black men and what Black men have been through. And college has been taken over by the feminists, and
yeah,
they can't handle that at all.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
I was watching, say what you want about Candace Owens. She might be a bad wench, but say what you want about Candace Owens. I was watching Candace Owens versus 20 feminists. I kid you not. It was like watching a grown woman, Candace, versus
Dissect everybody.
versus 20 children.
What was
Were these
Princess?
college students?
Yes.
Was
and college students and the Queenmaker herself, Princilla.
Prince Bishop?
What?
Yes.
Yes.
That nutcase.
Yeah, I played it on Saturday and got tagged for it. I had to take it out.
Oh,
wait.
Damn.
What? You got tagged for that?
Yeah, I got tagged for playing that thing between her and Princilla.
Why?
It wasn't bad.
Copyright.
I just had to take it out.
Wait. Why did you get tagged for it? Why did you get zapped for it? I mean, you were playing a conversation.
Yeah, and you know how some people are about copyright. It is what it is.
True.
But his minions are getting their papers published. Like
Where? I've never, no leading journal have I read of any black male studies of that.
But that's the thing. Like, yeah, I get both of what's being said here, because yes, you can discourse him into greater legitimacy. But when I go do research, he pops up in Routledge series books. He pops up in anthologies. He pops up in philosophy readers. And so, like, he's there. He's there. He's getting awards for his papers on his ridiculous paper on epistemology and race gender theory. That is a paper that is not squarely in black male studies that he got recognition for quite recently. And it's a crazy paper, but he gets recognition for it. I think at the American Philosophical Association, somebody gave him an award. So I don't know. I just think that yes, more visibility gives him more.
Well, the problem is feminism is crumbling and
badly,
and they can't handle it. There's another one that Louis did a recording of, and remember how BGS always says black women would rather rule in hell than to serve in heaven?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
On Saturday, brace yourselves.
Oh no.
I'm gonna play a feminist that actually admits it.
That actually admits to that?
Yes, that she admits they're in a burning building, but she don't give a shit. Patriarchy.
Good.
Yeah, but I think he's garnered some degree of it already to where, like, you need to, I guess, say something. But I don't know. It's very prickly. I think that people who should squarely be responding are actually people like who are not visibly associated with the academy, like people like me and Redacted, versus like people who are publishing. I don't know, but somebody has to say something. But maybe that's the difference. But
so I'm gonna blame you personally and others like you. You guys are making him better.
Yeah,
I think you're not only legitimizing him, you're making him better.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are helping him woodshed.
What did BGS call this space? The tar baby.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
The more you get on you, the more it spreads.
He's actually a better writer.
The more you try to get rid of it, the more it just spreads.
Or it just spreads. 6 years ago. Whether you agree with the ideas or not. But it's been the engagement in the arena that has made him better. I'm telling y'all, if y'all just ignored that and did a Twitter, nobody would know who he is. He is known now because of y'all. I'm just telling y'all are responsible for his new fan. I'm just telling you.
I also want to say I'm in the shower, so it's a little loud, but let me have some time. Let me say this.
We can only hear your voice. You're good.
Okay, great. We recently had like a little Twitter space.
Go ahead.
I must.
Tell me, what is gay?
More than likely.
That with them. And I was just reminded about like the sheer mediocrity.
Yes.
And it actually I had like an epiphany where I was just like, oh, I'm actually good off of this. Because,
yes.
You're stuck in Edinburgh.
I lost dopamine. Like my dopamine levels were pretty good.
Oh, shit, I'm losing dopamine now. Listen to you motherfuckers.
I had a conversation with myself and I just was like, you're stuck in Edinburgh, and so you can believe in unicorns if you want to. I mean, I don't care what you believe.
I mean, he really said this person who I won't name.
Can we just
he really said that Miss Sandry
please?
Hmm?
Can we just burn Clubhouse to a crisp? Please.
Oh, this shout out to Mr. Z.
Mr. Z gets another fun.
Yeah, Mr. Z gets said the internet will expose us all. And he also said sometimes you just need to let them speak for themselves.
First of all, he said he wouldn't acknowledge whether men other than black men and racialized men to face misandry. Okay. He said misandry, at least among
By the way, those you watching, hit the Cash App, support the show.
Black men.
This is that's reserved for Patreon.
Corroborated by the fact that black people have the highest intraracial gap in incarceration, and that this alone substantiates misandry. Of course, this doesn't make any sense.
There's that word, misandry.
But it's just like
it's that void again.
Being up close and personal with who he is producing. You know, the other guy, Myron, who's even dumber than Rennie, is his student in Scotland, and he was saying some shit that.
Okay. Let's make something perfectly clear. Make something perfectly clear. Fuck Myron. He's a plant.
He's a bitch.
Yes, that too.
Is his last name Gaines? I want to get it right.
Yeah.
To borrow from my morning show, Myron Gaines, you a bitch.
Actually, he's a bitch. He talks about how you shouldn't live with your woman.
I'm sorry?
He actually talked about how you shouldn't live with your woman.
Y'all better give me some cash apps for this because this sound comes to mind. This one comes to mind. This one.
What in the all types of blue hell?
And to finish it off.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up. The other one I heard, allegedly, he was caught in bed with a man. Allegedly. I don't know if that was true or not, if that one was true or not.
Dear Lord.
Didn't make not a lick of sense. Like, not a lick of it. So, yeah, I mean.
Neither are you making a lick of sense, sir, right now.
Not just his work that people who are citing anti-Black misandry is being published in. Callaloo. Okay, where's the other one that I like? Feminist Media Studies, Feminist Review, the Journal of Black Sexuality and Relationships, Sociology of Race and Ethnicity, Toward a Black Boy Crit Pedagogy. I don't know about that one, but these are Taylor Francis, Sage, John Hopkins.
Yeah, are they tearing him down? Or are they saying, what are they saying?
These are people who are talking about the.
Hey, Lou, you know what you should have tagged in your title? You should have tagged this in your title because this is basically a whole advertisement for. Give me 1 second. You should have put this in your title. This is a whole advertisement for BGS was right.
Misandric characteristics in Toni Morrison.
That's really what they be writing too. They be like, this paper is about color purple and the anti-Black misandry. Like this is what they write.
I told them the other day, I was like, if you think I'm gonna have a conversation with you about the color purple, you've got another thing. I'm not.
I'm sorry, I gotta be petty for a moment. All my life I had to fight. I loves Harpo, but I'll kill him dead before I let him beat me. Till you do right by me, everything you think about gonna crumble. And I'll say that to black women. I'll say that to your face, black woman. Do right by us, everything you think about gonna crumble. Well, hell, it is crumbling.
I'll say it and loud.
And shout out to the late Godfather Kevin Samuels. Unfortunately, fellas, winter's not coming. It's here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go over that on Friday. It's basically here. Starting to see black women get arrested, fired.
Uh-oh.
One black chick.
Winter has come in spades.
One heifer, I kid you not, one heifer lost her job for lying on a delivery order. She got it. She got.
I'm sorry?
About $2. Yeah. She lost her job for basically 2 McChickens and a drink. She got 2 McChickens and a drink, but then once she got her food and ate her food, she called back and told the order was never delivered. So the driver came back with a camera and showed that, you know, she actually had gotten her food and she was drinking her drink.
Uh-huh.
So she worked for a doctor, and
You can't make this shit up.
somebody saw the doctor's office she worked for, and they gave that doctor a bad review, so she got fired. And that's just one of the stories I've seen on TikTok.
We're not having the color purple discourse now. Like, it's not 19. What the, like, it's just like, what the fuck is even going on? Who the fuck is about to sit here and argue with you about the fucking color purple? Can you guys get the fuck for real? Like, we're not rehashing this. It's not 90s. Like, I don't know what's happening.
They bring out their clip of James Baldwin. Oh, you think gay niggas got ideas now? Oh, it's interesting. You want to bring out your token queer, your token.
Wow. You played it earlier, Snowman. Play it again.
My pleasure.
Tell me, what is gay?
Black fag and bring him out anytime you want to substantiate. Well,
I got a better question to back that up.
Okay.
Let me back that up with this question.
I don't know. It's very just at this point, but
How do you fuck that up?
You know, people are critiquing him here and there. I think Olufemi Taiwo's critique of the Man Not was actually very good, and Tommy Curry can't contend with it. He just claimed that Taiwo misread everything. Like, okay, that doesn't deal with anything, but people have responded to him, and he's not good at responding. I mean,
you go, Dr. T.
He's also a liar. He just lies on people in his book.
Every fucking word that he says about Black feminism is 70-30 a lie.
Prove it.
There's a couple of things that come to mind. A couple of things you need to play. I'll give you a hint. A bullshit. A bullshit. Bullshit.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Now that's some bullshit.
Now that's some bullshit.
Matter of
Or
fact,
representation.
we'll complete the triple play.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
You sure can.
Yeah, he misrepresents two scholars and says that
you can't make this up.
They say that in the Black community, being quote homosexual and being quote homophobic are quote equally stigmatized identities. That's what he says in the introduction.
And when you posted that, you can see that it's clearly a misrepresentation that he's making, even though it's like a direct quote, but he's chopping and screwing what they're saying.
He's a manipulator.
To fit his argument.
Right.
But I find it even worse that he just straight up lies on Sadia Hartman, saying that she says that sexual violence.
So basically, what they're saying, what they're pretty much trying to tell you is pretty much this.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Violation is only happened to the female slave. That it's the defining feature of their experience of slavery, which I read her as saying reproduction, like a forced birth, not as sexual violation. I know.
What's up, Louis?
It's twice.
What up?
In two different
Shout out to Lewis. He's the reason we got this clip right now.
spaces.
Yeah,
She talks
like
about how
at the end of the video, they caught me recording them and they cursed me out and everything. Now I go in their rooms trolling them. I got Dr. Curry's picture as the avatar and I go in trolling them.
Female slave is also subject to sexual violation, and that's
Kimberly Nicole Foster all being there. Like they're a bunch of work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't know if you heard what I said, but I said you should just put tag BGS was right because they're confirming a lot of shit that you've been talking about. But anyway, let's continue.
she didn't have access to the same types of archives that would show her the extent of it, but that she knows it exists.
But there was a professor. There was a professor that DM'd me on, and she was just like, "You guys have to realize that like there are academics who like need this is a gimmick. Like he's obviously this is a grift, and he's not stupid. Or at least like marketing of it is not unintentional because a lot of the men that he recruits online don't have a high school diploma, nevertheless. And so he does want to foment an argument, so you know, he's able to do that. But that's what he wants legitimacy, is what I'm saying. I think that was like Misogyny's point earlier. It's just like,
and it's
he
like
wants legitimacy, and it's like, but you don't have any, so no one takes you serious.
He tried to go get. That's the thing though, like people won't take him seriously, but they'll take seriously people who like him and who cite him. So it's like even the dude who's running like the Center of Study for Black Men at Morehouse College right now is a Curryite, even though they did not want to hire Curry, you know, himself.
And didn't.
And, you know, so, yeah.
They also want, like, their own like, male, like, commodity. I don't know. You know, like, feminists have their niche where, at least, like, especially, like, liberal feminist academics, where, like, you know, this is the feminist center of Ida B. Wells. You know, they want that. I'm telling you, like, these straight heterosexual.
These people talking are supposedly PhDs talking.
Are you fucking serious?
And shout out to Mr. Z. The internet will expose us all. And I'm saying this. If you're on Clubhouse, I will find you. Don't let me catch you slipping. And Dr. T, if you're still in the comments, shoot me your email. I will send you a copy of this video.
Can you send me a copy of it too?
Yeah. Go ahead, AB.
All right.
These are hold on a minute. These are what? These are supposedly what, Louis?
PhDs.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this up.
Their own reclamation. We're just like, I'm tired of it. I don't want another queer theory. I don't want another hooks panel. I mean, there's a critique of like liberal whatever academics, but it's also just like he's not. It's like you guys want to be a part of that. You don't want to be away from it. As much as like Myron screams about being counterinsurgent, he's not. You know, like he's just a liar. Just a liar. That's why it's been years and nothing has happened. Like, you're still screaming about misandry on Twitter, and Trump is in office, and you're still a nigger, and you're still overseas, and you can't get a job in the US, and you're especially not going to get one now. I don't know what the girls thought. You thought you had grounds for legitimacy prior to? You have nothing now. In this post-liberal Trumpist administration, there's no room for any of it, let alone misandrist aggression with feminists. Yeah. So there's nothing to discuss. And Rennie doesn't have any legitimate academic scholarship in any published journal. He has like articles on like Substack at 36 and still working on a degree to get, and still working on a statistics degree. I don't even know what. I don't even know. 1 minute these people, they pose as, yes, Rennie is getting a master's in like statistics, but it's so funny because online he's screaming about how he's a philosopher. It's just like, you need.
Yeah, whoever his advisor is, he needs to return whatever. He needs a refund, because in what world do statisticians compare the disparities across groups? I've never seen that type of analysis anywhere before, where it's like, oh, the disparity between Black women and white women, we're then going to go and compare that disparity between white men and Black men. I was like, I don't know if y'all saw this. I was online saying, you're asking me why the most privileged men experience less oppression than the least privileged men. That's what you're asking right now.
I mean, the same way there's like a racial backlash, there's a gender backlash. And I think that like language is generative in the sense that like, these men get online and they want to scream that like women rape men. How novel. How boys get molested and no one cares. And still no one cares. Did you know?
It's the truth, you dumb fuck.
Know that? Right. Did you know that Boosie hired a woman to molest his son because he wanted his son to be straight?
Yep.
Right. Where's your analysis about why another man would have a woman?
They can never discuss
violently-
those things directly.
Right.
It stops at trying
He raped
to
him.
invert feminist analysis, never about the actual like
Conceptual
elements of what is going on and
How are
why.
you? Good. How are you? I'm great, thank you. Let's hear you.
Oh shit!
Like,
I'm sorry.
they-
I'm
it's just
editing.
like
I'm
there's
editing
no,
a
and
show.
even if they acknowledge it, it won't be elaborate. Right? There's not going to be any elaborate acknowledgement of what.
Think about this. This is your PhDs talking like this. This is what BGS is talking about when this stuff is at the college level. But let's continue.
Cause a man to think that getting his son sexually assaulted is somehow this insurance policy on his sexuality. And what is that? And though this is an extreme example, how does this connect to other daily practices of disciplinary, all this other stuff? So it's just like, people don't want to make those connections, but they're there, and it is what it is.
I mean, Rennie is such a homophobe. He believes that like there's an economic incentive to be a gay black man because gay black men somehow defy hypermasculinity by being faggots. So they experience less antagonism than heterosexual men. He actually is like making an argument that heterosexual black men are oppressed because they're straight, and straightness is stigmatized as this like machismo, hypermasculine identity. And so it's actually straight men who are oppressed in the workplace. It's not fags. That's why Torian was asking me about like, what are the privileges to being heterosexual? Only a homophobe would ask you that question, right? What privileges do I get from being straight? That's what he kept asking in that space.
And I literally listed them. I gave them the data. They didn't engage with it at all.
But I mean, when I was in the space and I told him about prison policy and I told him how queer and trans people are disproportionately incarcerated, you don't have anything to say on the basis of being gender as racially charged motivation towards black men. A part of that scrutiny, though, that I think like becomes detextualized is that black men do not vote in the same frequency for the Democratic Party as black women.
Why should we? Why should we, you jackass?
We don't have a reason to, you idiotic fuck.
And what's interesting is that Rennie will say, well, this is just a subset of black males who are conservative. Okay, well, why does the same subset of conservatives not exist amongst black women at this frequency? All right, it's not to say that no black woman votes for Republican. Obviously, this is not true. But there's a very clear conservative.
For the record, there are plenty of black women who are conservatives. So he don't know what he's talking about.
He's got no clue.
And gentle male bonding frequency that we can find cross-racially amongst men, dominant racial groups and out-group racial males, out-group racial males. And that same disparity exists. So what is it about conservatism? What is it about right-wing policies that attract men more than they attract women? Right? What is the reasoning behind that? And there was a census data that came out that Donald Trump had overperformed with men, and particularly with men of color. Now, those men of color that he overperformed with were Hispanic males.
the men that he overperformed with the least were black males, but nevertheless, still men, right? Like he overperformed with younger, I think it was younger males, but men more generally.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he outright won the younger men overall. 18 to 30.
Mm-hmm. And he did do better with women and a lot of different minority groups as well. He just did better. Now, partially this has to do with voter turnout.
Sources.
Right? So someone could argue that the voter turnout in the 2020 election and the voter turnout in the 2024 election was decreased substantially, and so it had an effect on those numbers because less people voted in the 2024
Hey,
election.
redacted. I don't want to interrupt your flow. Have you looked at the chat? Yeah, we're being recorded on YouTube.
I'm driving.
Oh, okay. We're being recorded on YouTube. I don't know if you want to shut the room down and make another one, but there's a burner in here recording us on YouTube.
Y'all talking about that deranged white man who be sitting in front of the computer all day?
I guess probably.
I mean, he's just gonna come into
John
another room,
Kinover?
right?
Probably.
Is he just gonna come, or should I remove him?
Yeah, it's probably
If it's an anonymous account, then
it's probably you can't remove the anonymous one, but it could be our pills, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Louis. He probably still at work, so he had to drop down.
Yeah.
Now I got a treat for y'all today.
Have you looked in the chat? Dumbass bitch.
Yeah, have you looked in the chat? That's funny. Now I got a little treat for y'all today.
Okay.
We're gonna look at a clip from Piers Morgan.
Oh wow. That is a treat.
Now, why might you ask, are we looking at a clip from Piers Morgan? Well, guess who he had on his show today?
Who did he have on?
Yes, Piers Morgan.
You're kidding me.
Had Joy and Reid on today.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show. Hit
bonus
that
content.
Support the show. We're going into bonus content right now.
Welcome to Uncensored.
Piers, thank you for having me.
Well, we've never met, I don't think. We've never spoken to each other. I think we've locked horns a little bit on social media in the past. I think I'm blocked by you on X. I can't remember what crime I...
Let's play over under. Pounds of makeup Joy Reid is sporting in this.
Over 3 pounds.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Someone actually got mad at me for saying that. Someone got mad at me for saying that.
I know my eyes are bad, but you can see it.
It's too easy. Someone actually got mad. Someone actually got mad at me for saying that. And I said, look, my wife doesn't wear makeup at all. And she's fucking gorgeous. Next.
My committee, but probably Trump related. Just first of all, what Barack Obama has said and what Chris Cuomo said there, has that given you pause for thought about what the Democrats should now?
Oh, yes. Barack Obama did come out. Shout out to Barack Obama. He did come out too late, in my opinion, but he came out and said the Democrats need to stop being a bunch of pussies.
Way too late, Baracko.
I'll do, because it's all very well just shrieking constantly about how evil Trump is, but it clearly hasn't worked now twice. The fact that the guy went away for 4 years and then came back and won again was an utter repudiation of the tactics to beat him, wasn't it?
Well, first of all, I'll say I have not blocked you on X Twitter because I haven't been on X Twitter since Elon Musk acquired it. I actually left the platform, so there might be someone posing as me who's blocked you. So
I think it was prior to Elon's purchase.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so this is an interesting conversation because there is no one who is more obsessed with racial identity politics than Donald Trump. He ran the most racial identity politics laden campaign.
I'll do it for you.
that I've seen in my lifetime. And I've been following politics since I was 12. The point of his campaign was, if I was to sum it up, that immigrants whom he identified as gang members from Venezuela, as people from S-hole countries, as essentially any non-white migrant or immigrant in the country, were vermin who were poisoning the blood of our
She don't know how to stop race baiting.
About criminal illegal immigrants. He was talking. Well, hang on.
You can
He was
take
talking.
the-
You can't misquote him off the top. This is my point, though. This is my point. I remember. Let me just say something, Joy. I remember when he won in 2016. I was at the New York Knicks the next day with my eldest son, and Chris Rock was there at the next table. We got talking. I said, "Why do you think Trump won?" And he said, "You know why?" He said, "If someone's murdered 8 people, stop going around saying he's murdered 9." And he didn't mean Trump had actually murdered anyone. What he meant was, there's plenty to criticize Trump about. I've done it myself many times. But there's also a lot of stuff that resonates with people. And I think it's the over-exaggeration, the over-demonization of Trump is part of the problem. And your characterization of his depiction of immigrants, you said the word immigrants. Actually, what he was talking about repeatedly on his stump in his rallies was specifically illegal immigrants who come in illegally, who are criminals, who are already convicted criminals, who've come into America across the southern border in huge numbers, who are criminals. He wasn't talking about non-criminal immigrants, as you tried to put it there. So there is a difference.
False. No, first of all, it's absolutely false. Let's talk about, for one example, the Haitian immigrants in Ohio. These are people who were in the country on a legitimate visa, who are actually improving that community by taking jobs desperately, where people desperately needed to hire and did not have any, enough American-born employees, and they were hiring these folks. They were taking badly needed jobs. They were improving the community economically. He accused them of eating people's cats and dogs. He characterized them as if they were animals. These are people who his own administration.
Those were reports that J.D. Vance got directly. So, what's the issue?
Try again.
Administration had allowed into the country on a legitimate visa.
But
And
I
so
agree with you.
First of all, stop. Let me just
But I
finish my
agree with
thought. So his all-encompassing term about immigrants being vermin and poisoning the blood of the country was all-encompassing because it included them. And in his mind, it included anyone who he said came from an S-hole country, meaning if you came from Nigeria, if you came from the Gabon, if you came from any country in Africa. He blanket in a blanketed way.
Yeah, he called them shithole countries, and guess who came to visit him last week? Oops.
Depicted immigrants, again, with Nazi terminology.
You're not near your mic. Say that again.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yeah, he did call them shithole countries, and they came to negotiate it with him last week. Oops.
Vermin.
Well, let's leave Nazi now. Whenever people. But Joy, it's taking you what? It's taking you 4 minutes, and you've called him a Nazi already. Come on.
But and now, what we're seeing are masked federal agents sweeping up cooks, abuelas, people who work on farms, picking up dishwashers.
You mean people that work on weed farms? Oops.
Any brown person, and Tom Homan said, based on one criteria being their appearance, it's overwhelmingly brown.
Wait.
Black
Hold
people.
up.
We're not seeing them sweeping up white folks on the street. Donald Trump ran a racial identity campaign.
Pause a minute. How dare you tell these people not to
stay off the weed?
Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat, support the show. Cash Apps come directly to me. Hit the Cash App, support the show.
Yeah,
and the sound effect tax is in full effect.
Unfortunately, a lot of Americans.
Well, actually, it would turn out to be very appealing to Latino Americans who voted for him in record numbers. More Latinos voted for him than voted for Kamala Harris, the non-white candidate. More Black Americans, African Americans.
Say that again,
Mr.
Morgan.
The first time round. So for
Not
this,
true.
for this,
Statistically, it was the same.
No,
the same number of Black Republicans voted for him. That
more Black Americans voted for Trump this time than last time.
It was the same. And by the way, this is the other challenge. There is a phenomenon, and my family are immigrants, and there is a phenomenon among immigrants of slamming.
Yeah, she is not FBA. She was not born. Her family is not from here.
The door behind themselves, and by the way, more Latinas, women in the Latino community voted for Harris. But there is a phenomenon. If you talk to people who actually are in the community and study this and spend a lot of time on it,
Can I sing a song about Joy Reid, please?
Go ahead.
Trays,
There are a lot of Latinos who want so badly to identify with Americanness that they identify against fellow immigrants. That is not a new thing.
No, but maybe they weren't identifying. Maybe they weren't identifying. But Joy,
that's not new.
Maybe they were just
blackness and
maybe
racism
let me
inside
respond
the
to
Latino
that.
community is not new.
Let me respond to that. Maybe they were just sick and tired of people like you, and I say this respectfully, but people like you constantly calling Trump a Nazi. Maybe they thought.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, wait. That requires a bell. Here are a couple bells.
It was ridiculous.
Maybe don't call people vermin instead of poisoning the blood of our country. That's
you
not
have repeatedly,
don't use it.
You have repeatedly over the last few years called Trump a Nazi. Now, the Nazis were the most despicable, awful human beings we've seen in 1,000 years.
Say it again, white man.
They murdered 12 million people, 6 million Jews in the Holocaust. Trump is not a Nazi. So when you do that, you thought it. Let me finish.
You've just done what you normally do. I have said he uses Nazi terminology, and that's a fact.
Right.
Saying people are poisoning the blood of our country, that is Nazi talk. That is what I've said about Trump. I will stand by it, because if you're calling people vermin and saying that they're poisoning the blood of our country, you are lifting language out of the Nazi playbook. That is very different from saying that Donald Trump is perpetrating a Holocaust such as in the 1930s. But what he is doing is straight fascism. That's not me saying it. Mark Milley, his former Joint Chiefs of Staff chair, said that he is a fascist to the core. His former chief of staff says he's a fascist, and the things he's doing, masked men snatching people off the street, not even showing any identification as law enforcement.
Let me ask. Oh yes, that's Joy Reid, lying race bait.
At her finest.
And dragging women,
Let me ask you a question.
children into vans, fascism.
You made this point.
I will stand by that any day.
Let me ask you a question about immigration. It's a very interesting topic at the moment, as you rightly observe. What are the fruit you eat to stay healthy is actually making you fat? According to Hart's review, who have lived and worked there for 20 years. My view is that most Americans, I think instinctively, do not have a problem with the principle of deporting undocumented workers who commit crimes in
I do not.
The United States. Would you have a problem with that as a policy?
As a policy, if people get a hearing and they go through a process, sure. But that is not what's happening.
No, I'm going
to... No, that's bullshit.
I got you.
What she don't want to talk about is, remember that guy Javier that they were talking about? He had been through the province. He was supposed to be deported like 5 years ago.
Which leads to AB's opening statement of,
now that's some bullshit.
Come to the next bit.
Hold on, that is not what's
Joy, I'm going to finish my point. I wanted to see what you were prepared to agree with me about, because I think it's healthy to the debate, right? So we both agree about that, which is good. Now, I don't think that they should have pressed the button on deporting as many illegal immigrants who are there undocumented, but who've not committed crimes in the way that they're currently doing. That they should have sorted, first of all, people who are in the country illegally who commit crimes and deported them. Everyone would agree with it. But I agree with you. The wholesale pulling of people off the street who may have been in America for many years, got families in America who pay taxes in America. You have to talk to farmers to understand the devastating impact this may have. So on that, I would agree with you. But I also think that, and I hope you would agree, that Donald Trump has pretty much stopped completely the number of people coming over the southern border illegally. And under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, over a 4-year period, as many as 10 million people are believed to have come over the southern border illegally. Now, you must surely think that the Trump way of securing the southern border is better for the United States than the Biden way.
First of all, if those are Donald Trump's numbers about how many people came in over the southern border, I don't buy them at all.
What numbers do you buy?
Donald Trump said.
What numbers do you buy?
Let me go on.
Well, how many do you think it was?
Let's just say it was.
Well, Joey, how many do you think it was?
No, let's just say, I'm going to stipulate to you, let's just say it was 10 million people. Are you asking your viewers to believe that 10 million people were in the country raping and robbing rather than working on farms, working on construction sites?
No, I didn't say that.
We have to recall that again, being in the United States without documents is a civil offense. It is not.
I hate it when black women put words in your mouth.
A felony. And so the reality is, if it was 10 million people, we have to ask ourselves, what is the pull?
But
America has
again,
always
that's
run, from the
their
time that
nature,
people who
is
look
it
like
not?
me were enslaved on cheap labor, on free labor to start itself as an empire, and then on a constant pull of cheaper and cheaper labor. That is a pull that is pulling people over. And then, of course, there's the push of the destabilization in Central and South American countries. That is the push. That push-pull is a fact of life. And it was a fact of life when Donald Trump was president the first time.
But what's that got to do with how many come over the southern border illegally?
No, the difference is now, if you let's say where you end all undocumented migration to the United States, all that would do is put a burden on the pull part of it, because you have industries that desperately rely on farm labor, on construction labor.
But why shouldn't you have a system? But Joy,
raising it to zero does nothing to change my life.
Joy, why shouldn't people?
What it's done is
why shouldn't people? Let me just ask you. Why shouldn't people do what I had to do when I wanted to live and work in America? I mean, just go through a proper process and get accepted to be allowed to come into the United States. That is how a normal, well-controlled border works. So what you seem to be suggesting is because America's
process. Did he utter the cuss words of proper process?
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
He uttered the words of proper process. Something the person on the right will never seem to grasp and understand.
America's economy needs a lot of workers. We should simply have a system where anyone can come in. And if that's not your belief, then how would you regulate the southern border?
I'm going to say to you that if the policy were applied the same across the board, that would be one thing. It's not. Marco Rubio's grandfather didn't do it the right way. He overstayed an order of deportation, stayed anyway, and was allowed to remain in the country. Elon Musk's brother says, and Elon Musk disputes it, but Elon Musk's brother said they overstayed their student visa, started a business which would have been illegal for someone on a student visa. We're allowed to stay. They are white migrants, and somehow that was okay. What we're seeing is a selective enforcement of this outrage. If the person is brown, they need to be rounded up and put into quote unquote alligator Alcatraz, a concentration camp in Florida. If the person is white, we let them start a business and become Elon Musk. What's happening is that Stephen Miller has said he wants 3,000 people a day rounded up, and he has said he doesn't care where they have to get them. He wants ICE going into Home Depot. He wants them going on construction sites, going on to farms, and dragging brown people and into detention. Then they're putting people in private prisons that are unregulated by the federal government. We've heard stories of people eating rotten food, having to use
You
the
still haven't
same
told me what
water
you would do.
for the restroom. And so the reality is what we have right now is we have a system of literal terrorism against brown migrants simply because Stephen Miller does not want them in the country.
As you know, they're not all brown, as you know.
Well, the vast majority are.
Well, but you haven't answered my question also. If you were running the southern border,
See? There you go.
If you were the border czar,
Hasn't
what would you do?
answered his
Would you let them all in?
question yet.
Or would you stop some of them coming in?
The first thing that I would do is to look at some of the actual legislation that's been put on the table before. You have a very small number of immigration judges who deal with people who are presenting themselves for asylum, which, by the way, is perfectly legal. It is legal to present yourself for asylum, but there are scarcely any judges doing that work. Multiple times, bipartisan, members of Congress, the House and Senate, have tried to pass legislation that would increase the number of those judges. If you actually had enough people to adjudicate asylum cases at the border, it would make that easier. I've actually been to the southern border and looked at the process and looked at the previous version of detention that Donald Trump did in his first term. First of all, it was horrific, and it was abusive even then to children.
Oh, by the way, you want to know when those cages first started showing up?
When?
During the Obama administration. Whoops.
Oh, there's a button. There's a button I need to push. Say that answer again.
Those cages for children started in the Obama administration.
By Barack Obama's deportation program of over
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that Barack Obama made some compromises that I do not think were morally sound in order to try to lure Republicans into doing the immigration.
Do you know how many people he deported?
Since Marco Rubio
do you know how many people Barack Obama deported in 8 years?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, why don't you guess?
I don't know and don't care.
Well, hang on. You don't know and you don't care. You just given me
because it's not the issue.
You're
trying to make the issue. The point is, Barack Obama was not dragging women and nursing babies apart and taking.
You've just given me.
I'm sure going to tell me it's your main issue.
You've just given me
9, 10, 11, 12. He called her name 12 times in 45 seconds.
And she didn't care. She just kept running her mouth.
She just kept running her big fat ass mouth.
Her big fat Guyanese, Congolese mouth, to be exact. That's her background.
My main issue is that what we're seeing.
I'm trying to finish my sentence. You've just given me a lengthy monologue attacking Donald Trump's aggressive deportation policy. And I've simply said to you, there was a Democrat, a black Democrat president of the United States for 8 years. I'm simply asking, given that you're obviously all over every detail of the Trump deportation policy and given you were on the airwaves in America on a daily basis through Obama's tenure, how many people did he deport in 8 years?
I do not know. You'll tell me. I'm sure.
Have a guess.
It's probably more than 1 million people. I'm quite certain. Because I think each 2 million.
It was 3 million.
Okay. And your point being what?
My point being, are you as shocked by that as you are claiming to be by Trump? If you're stressed about back taxes, miss the April deadline, or your books are a mess, I'll say
deportation in and of itself that is what is shocking to people. There are two things that are shocking. Number one, well, I'll do three. One, it is not deportation to render someone to a third-party country they have no connection to.
I agree.
Rendering people.
Never mind, Brian. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you? I gotta do it. Damn it.
This should be fun.
Piers, I play this one playfully, but what you just did to join the last 30 seconds.
Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
People to El Salvador is shocking.
And that's why he's coming back.
Done by Biden.
That's why that guy's
it was not
coming
done by
back.
George W. Bush. All right, so that is shocking.
Yeah.
Number two,
That's why he came
deporting
back.
people with deporting. Well, that's only one person. They deported more
The
than
case we're
200
talking about, he's come back.
to that gulag. Yes, they deported.
Let her have it, Piers. Let her have it.
No criminal record
Why are you
whatsoever.
changing the subject
So
from
that's number
Obama's
one.
deportation
No, I'm
policy?
telling you, the three things that are shocking are not deportations themselves. It's deporting people, number one, to third-party countries like the Sudan, where they have no ties whatsoever, simply for he does. Trying to take people's citizenship away, denaturalizing. That's Idi Amin behavior. There's a black fascist that you can compare it to.
Okay, let's move on to. I want to just play a clip of.
Yeah, I just skipped ahead because she's still crying about immigration.
You lost your job at MSNBC. Let's watch this.
My show had value. And
I think.
Oh,
can I play the song
You lost
again?
your job at MSNBC. Let's watch this.
My show had value.
Can I play the song again, please?
Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll.
Yes, I am.
Troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
Play a clip of when you lost your job at MSNBC. Let's watch this.
My show had value.
Oh, shit.
And that
was hilarious. That was great.
That,
No, you're not. No, you're
what I
not.
was doing.
Ain't a tear in her eye.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's play the game again. How many layers of makeup does she have on her face?
In this picture?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I set the number? I'll set it at double digits.
Yeah, it looks like about 2 on this one.
No. I said double digits.
Oh.
I said double digits. Including the hair.
Value.
Oh, did I say
And
that?
value. And in the end, I try not to cry on TV. Whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
So look, you're perfectly entitled to be proud of your show. Many people enjoyed your show for many years. You know, a lot of people at NBC were briefing that the reason was declining ratings post the election, 47% decrease in your election, in ratings from pre-election. But you told Mark Lamont Hill on his show this.
After I said on my show that the reason Americans could relate to Ukrainians in a way that they didn't relate to Palestinians, that Ukrainians are white. And so watching white people get their schools bombed was, you know, hit different. That hit our ratings. I mean, it definitely,
race baiting.
we could see the white viewers from that moment that I said that. So they were like, we don't like the name calling. And also I'm a black woman. So I mean, I'm sure he makes it conceived very well.
Because of your skin color, because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's why you got let go.
Yeah.
Why play that? I mean,
different ways, different kinds of empathy, and I think that's not always received very well in the news business.
Now, Joy, I mean, look, let's be honest. I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin color or because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's why you got let go. Why play the race card?
Ooh.
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers. I find it actually quite charming.
Racialize more.
You were playing the race card for the last 20 damn minutes. Come on, Joy.
Conversations in your tenure at MSNBC than any host in history.
All right, Piers. And the bottom line is you take an entire conversation that I had with Mark Lamont Hill and pick the bits that you can racialize, because this is your shtick. And I get that this is your shtick.
You racialized everything, Joy. Come on.
I get it. I understand this is your shtick, Piers. And listen, game recognizes game. I get that this is your
my
shtick.
shtick.
And the bottom line,
it was your
shtick.
shtick.
And everyone knows
your
it is.
shtick.
Piers, we
people got
understand
bored
what
with
it is.
it.
And it is so interesting to me that you yourself, as a white European, find that when people of color talk about race, that you believe is racializing conversations. But when people like you fixate on, well, Barack Obama was a black president, why don't you object to that? That is racializing a conversation about the former president of the United States. But you can't put, and I'm sure you find that charming and funny.
I find it hilarious because you're the one who said Donald Trump.
You and your friend Donald Trump.
You said Donald Trump is a white fascist.
He is. Well, I agree.
And
with
yet
Mark
when Obama did the same thing, I'm not allowed to mention his skin color.
I agree with his former chief of staff, who last I checked was not black, and said he's fascist. And Mark Milley said he's fascist to the core. So I happen to agree, and I know this is what is important to you, with two very white gentlemen about Donald Trump's fascist tendencies. If that makes you sad and uncomfortable, I can't help you.
No, it doesn't make me sad and uncomfortable. I think it makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, but that's different. Now, President Trump reacted to your departure by saying, low-life chairman of Comcast, Brian Roberts, the owner of ratings-challenged NBC and MSNBC, has finally gotten the nerve up to fire one of the least talented people in television for mentally obnoxious.
No lies though.
No
Reid, based on the ratings which were virtually non-existent, should have been canned long ago, along with everyone else who works there. What's your response to that? Many of us carry around bulky, worn-out wallets that are uncomfortable and full of humans against digital cases. After you
if you, I mean, it's fascinating to me that you think it's important that I care what Donald Trump says about me. It's a badge of honor. If he
Well, shit, you talk enough shit about him. You ought to care. You sound like you care what he thinks about you.
Likes me, then I think I'm doing something right. I have zero respect for Donald Trump, and therefore, if he feels the same way about me, then the feelings are quite mutual, and I'm very, very proud of that and happy with it.
Okay, I want to play a clip. This is you talking about you're attacking parents. You spoke out about their concerns about gay and paedophilia pornography books being posted in school.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer for you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me.
Look at that poodle
What
on
in
the head.
the Vita blue, yellow belly, gold-plated hell is that?
That is what I call a poodle on the head.
Do I have a sound for that? No, I just have.
What in the all types of blue hell?
And I
what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher?
Hold on a second.
No, we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
Now, there's also a second clip. This is you talking about Republicans exploiting concerns by minors who identify as transgender. And you say this is an old age tradition which Nazi Germany did. Let's take a look.
In fact, there are more kids who have been exposed to gun violence, estimated at 3 million, than there are transgender Americans of all ages in total. Targeting trans people isn't new. It is an age-old tradition, which Nazi Germany did with brutally violent ends in the 1930s.
Now, the confusing part of all this, Joy, is what you really think about the LGBTQ plus, whatever it now is, community, right? Because as you know, when you started commentating about this, appearing to be a big ally, a lot of stuff emerged, which came from posts that you had purportedly put up in a blog between 2007 and 2009. One of which said, most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing. Another said, I don't want to watch the two male characters in Brokeback Mountain. You were talking about having sex. Does that make me homophobic? Probably. You referred to the then Florida governor as Miss Charlie and featured the tag gay politicians. Now, you said at the time when all this emerged, I genuinely don't believe I wrote those hateful things because they're completely alien to me. I hired cybersecurity experts to see if somebody manipulated my words on my former blog. And the reality is they've not been able to prove it. Now you're not at MSNBC. Now you're on your own, doing your own thing, and you don't have to worry about repercussions and stuff. Are you prepared to finally come clean and just admit that was your blog and you did say
uppercut? I might have known that you would use this opportunity and interview. This is your purpose, right?
Come on.
This is your purpose. And that's fine.
She's dancing around. She's not going to answer.
I can sit here and go on and on and fight with you about your strange, weird obsession with Meghan Markle, but I won't do that because that would be rude. But what I will say is,
after further review,
the point being that
after further review, the call on the field has been confirmed. Forget call on the field stands. The call has been confirmed.
Yeah, after further review, how can I say this? After further review,
that was a lie.
The lie detector test has determined
that was a lie.
Thought you'd like that one. I thought you'd like that one.
What in the Maury Povich?
Yeah, you might want to meet up for a minute, Nair. I'm about to play something that it's the butt hurt. It's the butt hurt. It's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, 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 it's the butt hurt blues.
You are an idiot.
Good song. That song is kind of catchy. That song is kind of catchy.
AB.
Man, that song has been in my head for like 4 or 5 months. A few weeks ago, I was like, "Oh fuck it, let me record it, see what it sounds like."
And then he sent it to my ass.
I was very open with my employer at the time about what happened with that old site, which I stopped writing in, before I even came back into the NBC family. And what I have not really talked about publicly, what I can tell you is that I had a very legitimate reason for being concerned about it because I was also on the radio at that time. And the things that I was literally talking about on the radio were quite the opposite of the things that were in that site. That is the reason that we began investigating what was going on with that site. And there was also someone who I do not know, who I still do not know, who had login access to my site for years that we did not even discover because I hadn't looked at the site for years. I don't know who that is. I don't know why they had access to the site, but had I not been open about that, I would have been definitely fired or there would have been some repercussions. I was open with my company about that. I've been very open. Everyone who knows me knows about it. And so
no, you didn't get fired.
No.
They want you to still be on there.
if you want to argue with me about an old blog site, that's fine. And I'll take
responsibility. You did write it.
And hold on. And I'm willing to take
You just
responsibility.
asked a simple question.
Did you say
for you?
Did you say those things?
She's dancing around it, man.
You said them.
What I'm going to say is
Come
very
on, you
simply
said
this,
them.
Piers.
You know you
The point
did.
that you're attempting
You
to
just
make
being an
now-
absolute
No,
load
hold
of
on
old
a second.
flannel.
The reason that you are trying to go here is that you're trying to defend the idea that Moms for Liberty and these other organizations can take books that are not pornography, that are not pornography.
No, I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to see whether you like to hold people to account. And I'm just trying to ask you
myself to
questions about
and I
you being held to
apologize for
account.
everything that was in that site, and I took responsibility for everything that was in that site. And I took responsibility for everything that was in that site. I find anything that harms the LGBTQ community that was in that site repugnant. I apologize for it. I take full responsibility for it. But the point that I made in my conversation with the woman from Moms for Liberty is that they are making themselves the expert on books, which they are deeming pornographic by using a site called booklooks.com, looking for words in the book that make them uncomfortable, and then attempting to ban books by the hundreds.
Out of interest, just to be clear,
And so I asked her,
do you think books? All right, do you think school children at school should have access to books in their library which involve strap-on dildos?
Again, you're taking a book that has multiple subjects.
No.
And you're taking this award-winning book and dumbing it down to
I just asked you a simple
because
question.
you may feel uncomfortable. And the bottom line.
No.
Is these books that were published by publishers who had an opportunity to say no. Look at these books. These are award-winning books. And I think parents should have the opportunity to opt their children out if they don't feel comfortable reading those books, but that children who are old enough and who are of age and can choose the books they want to read and may feel seen in a book that you might object to, ought to have the opportunity to read that book. That shouldn't be your decision. It shouldn't be Mom's for Liberty's decision.
She's talking about books and dance around the subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the cartoon where the wolf says, "I can't blow the brick house down. It says so in the book."
Blow the house down.
I think each parent can make the decision for their own children, and I don't think that woman from Moms for Liberty or her organization should make that decision for other people's children. People ought to make decisions for their own children. And by the way, one more thing I'll add is that in the state of Florida, parents can opt their children out of reading books that they don't want to read. And she could have done that like any other parent.
Have you watched Brokeback Mountain?
No.
Okay. I mean,
what is the point of that?
Well, because you said I don't want to watch the two male characters in Brokeback Mountain having sex.
Okay, so what does me watching Brokeback Mountain have to do with that book, whether or not it is pornographic?
Nothing to do with the book.
That is a book that people can have the opportunity to read if they so choose.
I'm not talking about the book.
I understand how an organization can make a decision. It is not about the movie. It is about whether or not Moms for Liberty
I'm not talking about the book.
The organization who should make decisions for other people's children.
I'm not talking about the book.
Whether I watched the movie or not makes absolutely no difference.
I'm talking about you posting on your blog that you wouldn't watch Brokeback Mountain because you don't want to see two male characters having sex. Does that make me homophobic? Probably. Most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing. Your words, not mine, Joy.
And your point is?
That maybe that makes you a bit of a hypocrite when you're taking the position of being an ally to the LGBTQ community. And actually, the best way to handle it, I would argue, is just to say, you know what? Actually, I did write that at the time. They're not my views now. I've learned, I've evolved, I've moved on. Trying to pretend even now that you didn't write it is preposterous. And I think you know that.
The bottom line is what I've said, and I'll say it again, is that I take full responsibility for everything that was on that site. I'm deeply apologetic for the things that were on that site that hurt people, and I take responsibility for it because it was my site. And that's the end of that. And my views, as you know, and as I've said on television, on air, are quite different from the views that you just read. And that's the end of that.
Boy.
Okay. Let's just end with this. Not everyone was upset when you were fired. Plenty of those white conservative men that you like so much seem quite happy. Let's just take a look at this clip.
Joy Reid, probably the nastiest figure on MSNBC.
Oh.
The most left, the most vicious against conservatives and white people and men and all the rest. She has just been canned, fired, kicked to the side of the road. Her show is over. This saddens me a little bit because I did not yet have the opportunity to go on it. I am celebrating that there is no longer a market for her disgusting product. That's what I'm to
say to him.
The reality, that's the reason that the show really years like to trade in is grievance. And the grievance that white Americans have, that they have to deal with
I'm not American.
diversity, that they have to deal with. And by
all right, we're gonna cut it off there.
Thank you.
Now, before we cut it off, I do have to point out that the black woman on the other side is Nina Turner. She's a Democrat, and believe it or not, I still have some love for Nina Turner.
Okay.
She's getting my fucking nerves right now.
Understood.
She's the one that took up and said that the Democrat Party is doesn't acknowledge or see black men.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I still got love for Nina Turner. She has defended black men. I have to give her that.
Mm-hmm.
But she still works at Roly Poly. So it is what it is.
And I think it's a great time to play this.
Yeah. No way.
What's up?
Believe it or not, shout out to Roly Poly. He thinks the Democrats are soft too.
Took him long enough.
Yes, even the Democrat clown thinks the Democrats are soft. Well, since you're doing that, let's just do two for the price of one. They don't need blackface anymore. Massa has us.
Lowered expectations. Lowered expectations.
Joy Reid has also been brought to you by Lil Dare. My name Lil Dare. My name Lil Dare. Huh? Leave Kamala alone. Leave Kamala alone. Huh? They're coming to get us. They're trying to get us back. Huh? My name Lil Dare. My name Lil Dare. Huh? Leave Kamala alone. Huh? My name Lil Dare.
You are an asshole.
Oh, that was too fun to make.
It was, man. I bet it was.
I do need to up the sound a little bit, but
you are an asshole for that one, but I love it. That's all I got to say.
They still talking about they're gonna deport us. Ricky Smiley around talking about they're gonna deport us.
You an asshole for that.
Read that for me, please.
Melissa Harris Perry should have been brought back. She was tame compared to Reid. That's from our law office.
Yeah, another feminist, but you know. You ain't seen her since they fired her.
Once again. Before I get out of here, there's a chance Jody and I may be heading back to Soldier Field in September for the
Have fun
Chicago Football Classic. Now, what do y'all think all the black women in the booth were thinking when they saw me and Jody show up? Or more to the point, just a moment, more to the point, when Jody started giving me a shoulder rub at halftime.
Oh, wait a minute. Why is the parole officer giving him a shoulder rub?
You know he's with it because of credits.
He got his reparations. I'm gonna tell his mama.
This sellout here.
One for both of you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Eddie.
I told Jody that. I told Jody BGS's reparations joke. I don't think she stopped laughing yet.
He has that effect on people.
Matter of fact, when I told her that joke and repeated it recently, she just shrugs. She starts laughing, then she shrugs and goes, "Well, you know." and we both fall out laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice when a couple have a great sense of humor.
Come on, man. Life's too damn short.
It is.
Mm.
Life's too damn short not to have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
By the way, the clapping seals are demanding their ad come up soon, or else. Do you want to explain to Jody why the seals are picketing outside?
She knows, and she laughs at them too.
Mm-hmm.
She knows.
Mm-hmm.
I sang the troll song to her for a comment she made recently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, get on out of here. Go to bed, AB. I'm going to bed too.
Yeah, before I get out of here, I do need to share one more thing. Let me give me just a second. I'm going to upload it.
Oh shit!
In the meantime,
it's not nothing funny to be frank.
Oh, okay.
But I need people to see it.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong area. Just a second here. Nope. There we go. Let's go to downloads.
All right. I will see y'all later. I will say good night.
Hold on just a minute. Y'all give me.
Okay.
No, you can go ahead, Snowman.
Okay.
Give me just a minute here. Let's see what's going on here. Cancel. All right, just give me just a minute here, good fellas.
hey, it could have been worse. We could have had summoning.
Could I have what?
We could have had a summoning.
Summoning.
Uncle Foot.
Oh, Uncle Foot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't even have that picture.
I mean, as messed up as seeing Craig Robinson, I could see, it could have been worse. We could have had to look at Uncle Foot.
Well, you're not going to be looking at Uncle Foot. However, you are going to be looking at my late mother. Picture of my late mother. She was 64 when she passed away.
Mm.
And
was she wheelchair bound?
Yeah.
Okay. Seemed to be a very lovely lady, very sweet natured.
Oh yes. Taught me a lot. But yeah, on dialysis too. In fact, the irony is I used to take her to dialysis.
Oh. I see. Man. Right there, folks. The fact that Baby just mentioned his mother had been going through dialysis. He himself is right now currently going through dialysis. Folks need to do genetic screening.
Yes.
For certain hereditary diseases.
Yes.
And understand their family. And because some people don't know their family history, they do need screening to know what they are most likely susceptible of developing.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's the show for today. I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. If you want to support the channel, hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.